try to flicker, glitter, shimmer, shine. Too many kids at the bar yelling about their wasted time. Too many heads at the show. Oh, 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 come on, I got too many dreams, don't you know? So baby, let's get away.
Hey, it's Andrew Huang. I want to do a really rapid-fire breakdown of a few things about my track Getaway from my new album Stars. A lot of you have been asking about the same three things about that track. How did I get the vocal effect? How did I make the bass sound? And where is the guitar sample from? So I'm going to show you all of that, and then there are a few more in-depth music theory things that I think we could get into. So I used this bass guitar. People are always asking what it is. It's a Fender Aerodyne precision bass. Aerodyne being the special part of that equation. You can get P basses everywhere and in all different... This knob just fell off. The Fender Aerodyne line, as I understand it, was a more limited run. They're made in Japan, and they're actually kind of between a precision and a jazz model. So I played that, and then I layered it up with a plugin from the Reactor user library. That's this thing here. Here. The ensemble is called Many Mood, and it looks like I've modified a preset called SQ Space Fuzz. Pretty great name. If you're a Reactor user, you can get access to the Reactor user library, which is a free library of tens of thousands of plugins that users have made using Reactor. And it's actually part of the massive giveaway I am doing this month. I will tell you more about that in a sec. So here's what those bass lines sound like. All right, so how about the guitar? This was actually a sample of myself. These guitars are from the background of my song In the Sun. That's from 2009, I think. That's from my summer album. That song just has piles and piles of guitars in the background doing little twinkly things. And for some reason one day I was just messing around. I took two of those tracks and I changed their speed, and I came up with something that was kind of nice. That's actually where the track Getaway started from, was just these two guitar loops. And that's also why Getaway is detuned. The whole track is 28 cents flat because that's just where things ended up when I was changing the pitches. I don't know why I didn't use Ableton's warp feature to just get them right on pitch, but I made that decision and I lived with it for the rest of the track, tuning all of my synthesizers and the bass guitar down 28 cents. So let's talk now about this vocal effect. This is definitely the thing that most of you are asking me about. I did it in Ableton, and I don't know how you would do this in other programs, but there may be a way. This technique is called Formant Shifting. It's also combined with pitch shifting. Maybe I need to give a really quick explanation of formants. Formants are produced by your vocal tract, and they are sort of the specific resonances of your specific voice that make you sound like you. Kind of like an extreme EQ in your throat. Changing those resonances changes the character of your voice, so it's why the same people can sing the same note but still sound completely different. So on Getaway, I took this one line and I copied it twice, and I pitch shifted one of the copies down an octave with these settings and the other one up an octave with these settings. They don't sound good on their own. There's a lot of artifacts, and check it out for yourself. Let's get away. But when they're stacked up with the regular vocal and then mixed in with all the instruments, you really can't hear those kind of gritty parts of the sound. It's just this smooth effect. Baby, let's get away. Before we get into the music theory segment, let me talk about this giveaway. I'll put a card up here and a link in the description where you can go to enter. It's really easy, it doesn't take long at all. Here's some of the things I'm giving away. This microphone, the Shure SM7B, which I have used for pretty much all my vocals in the last few years. Got a Complete Control keyboard up for grabs. This is the 61 key version. It's the one that I use, but Native Instruments are very generously contributing one for this giveaway. It comes with Complete 11, which is like all of their software instruments, including Guitar Rig and Reactor, which I've mentioned earlier. It's a huge prize. Speaking of software instruments, Arturia is also throwing some things into the mix, so 3 winners will get their choice of an Arturia software instrument. They do great emulations of all the classic keyboards as well as some modular stuff. They just released a Buchla clone. And speaking of modular, Make Noise is in the giveaway. We've got an O-Coast up for grabs. We've also got a Canon 80D creator kit, so you get the camera, a lens, and a microphone. This is what I use for the majority of my videos. It's what I'm filming this on right now, and the only reason why I can hold one up and show it to you is because I actually have two. That's how much I like this camera. And that's not even all of the prizes. You can go to the link to find out more and to enter. Okay, now let's get into a little bit of songwriting and music theory stuff. So the vast majority of the song only has two chords, G and C. Detuned by 28 cents. But then 2 times in the song, instead of going to a G, I go to an E minor. In both of those cases, a G still would have worked, but I wanted to create a little more tension there. And that's something that's really easy to do by just changing any major chord you're using into its relative minor. The relative minor being 3 semitones lower and minor instead of major. It's a really fundamental tool that you can use in any music genre, and it's also really easy to use because pretty much anything that you can harmonize with a major chord, you can harmonize with its relative minor. Now, as for the songwriting thing I wanted to talk about, this is a weirder one to apply. You kind of just have to feel when it's right, but this song starts with a chorus. Starts with an intro and then goes right to a chorus. The very basic, ubiquitous sort of pop song structure is verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. But every once in a while, you come across a song where the particular message of it or the melody just makes you want to put the chorus up front. So Getaway goes chorus, bridge, chorus. There's only one verse, the melody of the verse never happens again, and then the bridge is, you could maybe call it a second verse, but it's a rap. And typically I feel like a song that is all singing except for a little bit of rapping, the rap is like the bridge. But what are labels? And I ended up structuring Getaway like this because the chorus was the first part of the melody that I came up with. The verse melody is based on the chorus melody, so I kind of wanted the chorus to be established, and then when you hear the verse, you hear it as a bit of a variation on it. So I hope that gives you something to think about if you're a songwriter. I guess the advice is, if it feels like you should do it, then do it. Thank you so much for watching. You can listen to Getaway and my whole album Stars on all the major music platforms. Enter the giveaway. There's so much good stuff in the giveaway. Links are everywhere. The end.